everyone, this is Locke and welcome back to another update on my LEGO City on the Great Build YouTube channel. Today I'm going to show you some of the things that I've done to upgrade this city, and plans for the future will also be stated in this video. Now I'm starting over here at the train station because what we can do here is take a quick look inside of the train station's convenience store, and you'll see I've updated it and added a back wall to it using some of the extra parts in my collection. Now, this does make it hard to see in there. I might add some lights in there eventually when I'm finished with designing the rest of the city, but I think that's pretty okay for now because it still looks good. Now, moving down to the edge of the platforms here, you can see that there's more gray plates. These are meant to represent a platform of parking to be placed so that you can park your cars inside the area next to the train station. You can see, for examples, for the roads today, I have the LEGO City Taxi, which is featured inside the set of this train station. Now, a lot of my older sets have lost the stickers or they've worn off over time, so you won't see a lot of the stickers on these sets, but sometimes that's okay. Like, in terms of having this train station here, it almost looks better without the giant blaring LEGO City logo on top. So, what would happen here is this car would come drive down this little side street made out of giant gray tiles and smaller gray tiles as well, over the tracks, and get the chance to park over here. Alternatively, you could have it back in, or in this case, it would have to back out. Now, I think this is a cool inclusion because it makes use of every little bit of space possible. The trains can still run just fine next to it, and this also allows both of the tracks to be connected simultaneously with the rest of the layout, while not having to worry too much about the cars and trains having too many crossings. Now, moving here, you can see I've used my road plates to the greatest effect here. I will need to go buy 3 or 4 more packages of road plates. I know that's going to be expensive, but there's really no way to continue a city once you've started using these, and I like how they work. They're much thinner than the original road plate base plates that LEGO released, so these are better for a smaller scale city like this one. This city is going to be the best example of what you can do on a budget, so using a small layout like this is a good idea. You can see I have some crosswalks, and on the outside of all these roads, there are these gray pieces right here. The light gray pieces are in light bluish gray, and what they do is they allow there to be like a sidewalk feel. I might raise them up more, I might add more depth to them, might just make the sidewalks more wide than this so that there's room to pose figures on them, but for now I think this is a good start to the city. Now, moving down the road with the road plates here, you can see that it goes all the way here to another intersection. Now, this intersection goes 3 ways, and we'll talk about each of those ways individually. Now, first we're going to talk about this way that goes towards the train station again. This one has a little lift in the tracks, which is better viewed from this point, and this goes up and over the railway tracks over here. So this is another place for me to drive cars. It could be used for like a beach, or a boardwalk could get put here because this is the ocean side of the city. Now, I also used a bit of rock here from one of the LEGO sets that there will be a review upcoming for in the future, which is the Lone Ranger train set, the Constitution Train Chase. And I will be reviewing that set in the context as a LEGO Steam Train and not as a movie tie-in set, because LEGO doesn't release a lot of Steam Trains, and I think that that's a good example of what they can do if they put their mind to it. Now, moving back to this main street actually kind of ends with this particular road plate to a area of road which is actually sloped. I think this is a pretty cool way to have it. It lets the road go down closer to the actual sea level, and then it kind of turns and goes over the water to the boardwalk train station, which is right over the edge of the tracks. Now, you might be concerned about some of these tracks going over the edge, but when you see the way the train stations and the tracks are locked into the base plates, the rest of this display will hold the trains and the tracks together. So it's a pretty cool idea, and I think this is a nice inclusion to the city to have a small little road that goes here. Now, these small roads could either be one way or both ways, depending on how you want to look at it. Now, finally, I do want to take a look up at the third road option, which is more of a main street that goes down the side profile of the LEGO City, all the way up to the edge to the train crossing area, which uses some yellow pieces to represent speed bumps to slow people down before crossing these tracks. It's something that's included in the LEGO City Road plate packs that you can get, but I think in particular, this particular setup uses them better than just for crosswalks, because in this city, I like to imagine all the cars and people here actually know how to obey traffic signs. I know that's wishful thinking in the real world, though. Now, looking at this area from the back, here's the back of the train station. You can see it's a little bit of a shadow because of the way the light works in this room. I might add another light in the future somewhere, but I think this is a pretty okay setup, so this makes it look much better from all angles. Also, you can see that there's some more lights here facing on the roads. Now, as the road plate section ends, that's not all I was doing to the city right now, and I want to show you something else that I've been working on. You can see these supports right here that go all the way around this city, and they go to an elevated railway. I was really taking some heavy inspiration from other LEGO City YouTubers who do big railways, but I wanted to do mine in a way that was minimalistic, but also added room, and worked with any of the standard LEGO trains. So, moving up here, you can see the tracks focused on these tan pieces that build up like connectors almost. They hold the tracks in place so that nothing falls over. Moving over this way, I used the flex track for the straights, partially because I ran out of straights, but also because the flex track does have this little ridge on the inside, which will probably keep the trains better hooked onto the rails in the future. And this is just a simple oval loop where the supports, some of them are more supported than others, but they're all connected to the base plates. Now, up on here I have the old LEGO City train, as we move around to this side so you can get a closer look at this. This is the first battery-powered LEGO City train that they released for LEGO City. However, for multiple reasons, I cannot get this train to ever run for a long time now because of the fact that the main engine, which has been modified here to a shorter engine, had problems where it wouldn't turn on and kind of broke, so that's for one reason why it looks like this, but the other reason was I wanted to have a train that would be able to be held up on this elevated railway. The elevated railway works really well only if the train that's on it does not have a motor because it takes a lot of effort for this to hold up the train. Now, this train holds up just fine, and since it's manually pushable, it's still good for things like stop animation. Now, overall, I think I did a good job customizing this train to work better for this layout, and all of the pieces that I needed for this train were used inside of this train set, with one exception, and that is 2 of the plates down here were used from a LEGO Minecraft set. But those are very simple pieces, they wouldn't be that hard to get. Now, I think this is it for Night City right now, in terms of covering it, but I did want to run the train one last time, so I'm going to go quickly over here and press the button on top of this train, and that will turn the train on. I feel like ending all of my videos in this city on the actual system of the tracks is a nice way to show people what the city can do. Plus, who doesn't like to see LEGO trains run? You can see that with this track setup, you can see that the train does work just fine going across the station here, as you'll see in a minute. It doesn't hit the car when it's parked there. It doesn't hit the platforms. That's how you know you've done it right. Now, as this train is going around, I'd like to remind you all that this is a new series for this, so if you could leave a like and subscribe to the channel, it really helps me out and lets me know whether or not the audience is enjoying what's happening to the city. That may or may not change how the city looks in the future, but I want to assure people that it is taken into consideration. Now, I hope you all enjoyed this video, and I hope you all check out some of the other videos in this channel and come back for the next time that I do another one of these videos, and I hope you all have a great day.